This program has been brought to you by Airtel, proud supporter of Africa's rising football stars.
Airtel Rising Stars, one of the greatest tournaments in Africa. Finding the best teams, the best talent, and which players are good enough to train at the Manchester United Soccer Schools camp. If you're out there, we'll find you.
For decades, different parts of the world have been defined by the special brand of football that they play. The Spanish and South Americans, skillful, creative, free-flowing, fast-paced style. The English, speed, power, and physicality. The Germans, controlled and deliberate. And for decades, the common image of African football has been of a dusty field, a rag ball, rickety wooden goalposts, and children playing without shoes. There is an element of truth to this cliché. Africa's uneven poverty simply does not facilitate solid infrastructure in most cases, and, as it is in the rest of the world, kids are prepared to improvise to get a game going. But the early history of the game on the continent shows that African football is more complex and sophisticated. In Africa, in fact, the story of football is not just a game. Encoded within it is all the complexity of its colonial experience. Like many other colonial imports, football was a European invention, but one popularized throughout the sheer joy of playing the game. Africans who had seen and imitated Europeans playing the game have gained an effective understanding of it over the course of 100 years. And as a result, Africa is emerging as a footballing powerhouse. A continent on the cusp of something extraordinary. African players have over the years become favorites the world over. Perhaps what is most impressive about the progression of Africans on the world stage is that they have done so with little or no help at home. Playing football shoeless, starting their journey in empty lots, playgrounds, paths of grass or beaches. If they're lucky, they move to the schools levels. And later on, perhaps being offered a chance to one day play in a local league. The journey is longer and more arduous than most developed nations. In recent years, the investment in football on the continent has grown. A slow climb compared to the rest of the world, and one that is certainly taking shape.
Yeah, I think it's a lot, we see the player like Odemingui, he did very well when I watch him play West Brom or Yaya Toure. I think it's not today, it's long time ago, the story when I watched the player like Wanko Kanu did here in this country, Jejo Kocha. I think that's amazing, And today to have something like this, I think maybe 20, 50 years ago, if someone did have the opportunity to do something like this, I think this player needs normally to win something. But today we have the opportunity to have something like that. I think that's very good.
Yeah. I have some of them. Dimbaba, Papi Cissé is just coming from Germany. Cheikh Tiote is doing fantastically well, and Alex Song, I always love him. He's a fantastic player, very good player. And we have few Africans who play very well, and Premier League is that kind of championships where everybody can come and perform well, because the Premier League is very attractive and everybody loves that, And at the moment we have a lot of players coming from another country, especially African player, or everybody want to join the Premier League, because now in our country or different country of Africa, different part of Africa, all of the people, they are looking in Premier League, and now everybody is enjoying, and it's like that all the young player, African player, want to come to Premier League, and I'm very, very happy to be in the Premier League, because I drew about that for a long time. When I was in Barcelona, yeah, I always said I want to join the Premier League to play, because for me it was the one of the best championships in the world.
The benefit of football success can bring so much to a country. Initiatives like Airtel's Rising Stars competition.
There is no good development without a foundation. So this acts as a foundation, it's a nursery. And these youngsters, if they are groomed to the national level, you find that you have a good national level. It's like a continuation. So it's like you start from the zones, you go up to the nation, under 17, under 18, under 20, and the national team. You find that it will be a very good one. So if we ignore this nursery, definitely we can't have a good national team.
Why grassroots football is a very good question, because we believe that talent often does not get an opportunity. And if we can go and tap the talent right where it is existing in remote parts of Nigeria or remote parts of Africa, then potentially we can pick the talent up and give it an opportunity.
The talent that we have seen through the Airtel Rising Stars, I think it's quite encouraging for my department and also for me as a technical director. It shows me that there's a lot of future for Zambian football, because Airtel Rising Stars has gone throughout the provinces, we have gone there in the districts. So I think this gives us a lot of hope for the future.
And when stars get involved in a campaign, it has even more impact.
I think giving any boy who wants to play football the opportunity to play football, I think it's a special thing. You know, I was given the opportunity when I was younger to play football, and then it was down to me to achieve what I wanted to achieve. So it's always nice to be given the opportunity. So I'm very happy that I'm involved in it.
Thanks to Airtel, who have put this project together. It's an amazing project, and hopefully this is the start of something really big for everybody out there, and give more players opportunities as well, because there's so much talent out there, and it's been absolutely brilliant to watch, especially that second half today. So thanks for all participating and being a brilliant people to work with, and good luck in the future, because that's what it's all about. It's all about you. Have belief in your own ability to get better as well. And hopefully one day you'll be big stars like the Michael Essians and people like that of Ghana in the future.
In a country that is mad about football like Rwanda, their president took it upon himself to bankroll the Sekafa Club Cup. It has been known as the Kagame Interclub Cup since 2002. And as a result of its stature on the world footballing stage, it has grown considerably.
You see, it starts from the understanding that sports knows no race, no tribe, no religion, no division. It really brings people together. That's the most important thing. And there is the beauty of sport itself, other than that aspect of it, of bringing people together. It is something people enjoy as well, either directly playing or watching.
Each year, the quality of organization and the standards of the tournament have grown from strength to strength. This year's tournament in Dar es Salaam was a perfect example of its quick rise in professionalism. Africa's largest football tournament, the Nations Cup, has now become a global spectacle. Footballers who ply their trade in some of the world's most exciting leagues converge here in Africa once a year to be crowned African champions. Zambia's fairy tale run to the title in 2012 was something that will remain etched in football fans' hearts and minds for years to come. Beating a powerhouse side like Côte d'Ivoire, a team stacked with big names like Drogba, Yaya Toure, and his brother Kolo. Next year's tournament in South Africa is an anticipated one, especially for players past and present who have had the opportunity to don their country's national strip, like Stephen Pienaar.
When the qualifiers were still going on, we had a look at it and we said, if we beat Egypt, we'll qualify, and if we do beat them, we've got a good chance of doing well at the Nations Cup. And yeah, unfortunately we don't. And now that it's coming back to South Africa, hopefully we've got a chance to make everything right in front of the supporters and give them something to smile about, and not just going to the next stage or next round, but make sure we fight hard as a team and make sure we get something to celebrate at the end of the day. I mean, the people deserve it in South Africa for all the support that they've been supporting the team.
The World Cup in 2014 in Brazil will follow a year later. The question remains, will it be Africa's turn? After coming so close in 2010 on home soil in South Africa, a continent united and 53 countries rallied behind Ghana's Black Stars. They would lose in the quarterfinals to Uruguay. But for certain players, 2014 could offer a chance at redemption.
Yeah, definitely. Everybody's expecting something big from Ghana. We did so well. We came worldwide. We proved everybody we are capable of doing something. So it's going to be really, really difficult because any country coming to play against Ghana will be coming in very strongly. So we hope everything goes well.
Africa's journey to football's world stage has certainly been an eventful one.
Airtel Rising Stars, one of the greatest tournaments in Africa. Finding the best teams, the best talent, and which players are good enough to train at the Manchester United Soccer Schools Camp. If you're out there, we'll find you.
Welcome back to Airtel Football. This week, we look at the journey of African football. And as more and more grassroots programs emerge, it brings to light the struggle of previous generation of footballers who found their way onto the world stage. Meet Jojo Bell, a former Cameroonian international goalkeeper. In his 20-year career, he played in his native Cameroon, Côte d'Ivoire, and Egypt before moving to France, where he played for several top-level clubs, including Marseille, Bordeaux, and eventually ending his playing career at Saint-Etienne. He represented his national team in 3 World Cups and the 1984 Summer Olympics, as well as several African Cup of Nations. Jojo is certainly a positive role model for any young African footballer. And he has an understanding of what it takes to build a successful footballing program on the continent.
Yes, this is the way we African function. We use our heart instead of our head. We don't use our head enough and always thinking this is my brother and this is my friend and this. And yes, Senegal they have got good players. This is you can't take it from them. But have they got a good team? And building a team, it takes somebody to build a team. And do you have the man to build that team? You don't just come and pile up players on top of others and say you've got a team. You need to build a team. You need someone to think about it. You need the combination of players and of talent. You don't need just to put names after names and then be watching and say, okay, it's 11 against 11. This is things people used to say, 11 against 11. This is not football. It's not 11 against 11. It's something against something.
And with a continent that is stacked with as much raw talent as Africa, is it just a matter of time before this sleeping giant of football begins to dominate the world?
I'm not sure whether all of them are going to wake up, because it's been a long time since things have been happening showing that they have to wake up, and they didn't do so. Why do we have to trust them today and say they are going to wake up? Let me tell you, South Africa, they had a World Cup to host. They didn't wake up to build up a team, and everybody were taking for granted that they are going to win the World Cup. Egypt didn't make it to the World Cup, and they didn't wake up. Cameroon, it's been a long time since they've been getting so many signs that things are going wrong.
And looking ahead to Bafana Bafana's chances at the 2013 African Cup of Nations in South Africa, Jojo certainly offers some sobering advice.
Remember the way they qualified for South Africa. Remember their 2010 African Cup of Nations. Remember 2008. Those who don't know football will just say they reached the final. But how did they reach the final? When you are a big team, being beaten by another big team twice in the same competition, like it happened to Cameroon in 2008, should have awakened them and said there is something wrong. If Egypt can beat us 2 times in 3 weeks, it means there is something. And then who else did Cameroon play against? Nobody. They played against Egypt, played against Sudan, played against Tunisia at the time, weren't good, and played against Ghana, who lost 5 to 6 players at the time. And this Andre Ayew was playing. If today, 4 years later, we are saying he is a good player, you can imagine what kind of player Andre Ayew was 4 years back. A young player. So if you win such a team, you cannot say we are big team. So all of Nigeria is the same. The way they qualified, the way they played in 2010 World Cup could have shown everybody things are really going wrong. They didn't wake up. So I wish them all the best to wake up, but I'm not sure.
A way in which to ensure that the future of African football is nurtured and developed. And as initiatives like Airtel's Rising Stars have shown us, it is just a matter of tapping talent. There is no doubt that the pure athleticism, coupled with the love of the game and the will to succeed, will culminate in a bright future for African football, especially when some of the best in the world are starting to take notice.
Yeah, when I was a child, I saw JJ Okocha running around Oliver Kahn. That was a fantastic moment, not only for him, but only for a lot of young players who were in Germany and just saw him playing. So he was one of our role models when I was young. Therefore, that was the past, and in the future, your players are very quick and very strong, and the rising stars are coming, as I've seen today, and so I think you have a great future, especially in football.
Just gives your maximum. First off course, they have to behave. Always listen to their parents. Always listen to advices, and I have to give the maximum, be 100% focused at training during training sessions. They have plenty of time to enjoy with their friends, but work is work.
Yeah, you must have fun in sport, and in football, fun is important. You must train every day, and of the end you must be very lucky. There's a coach to see you and let you play.
That's all the time we have for in this episode of Airtel Football. Thanks for watching, and see you next week.
This program has been brought to you by Airtel, proud supporter of Africa's rising football stars.